Very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the CA class. So, in this session, we are going to cover 8 to 11th February CA. Whatever important news, particularly technical news which require explanation, will be discussed here in depth. And 8th to 11th will be covered in this session only. Before this, today itself in the morning class, I have covered with you the 7th Feb CA. Before resuming the session, can anyone please confirm is the audio and video good? Sound and visuals are clear? Please confirm. So 8th to 11th Feb is going to be covered comprehensively. There are certain news, which do not require explanation. So we are only discussing the most important ones here, 8th to 11th Feb, starting with the regulatory body news. Whatever regulatory bodies news do we have? Okay. Very, very important ones. So first news is SEBI. SEBI is working on revamping its business responsibility and sustainability reporting standards. SEBI has said it will be reworking on business responsibility and sustainability reporting standards, BRSR standards, right? So that is to align these standards with the international practices. It is to align the standards with the international practices basically. So the purpose of this entire thing is to align it with the internationally recognized environmental, social and governance norms. Whatever ESG norms are there are ESG norms, environmental, social and governance norms, which these companies they have to follow. So the SEBI wants to align these standards, the business responsibility and sustainability reporting standards with that of the international standard. For this, it has set up a research team, which includes experts like you have Shakti Sustainable Energy Foundation, which are working in this field. So remember, the search team will include Shakti Sustainable Energy Foundation and your Octus ESG. These two names are very prominent when we talk about ESG, environmental, social and governance norms. So when we are talking about ESG, remember these two names are very prominent, Shakti Sustainable Energy Foundation and Octus ESG. And particularly, why this news is coming all of a sudden? Because it is following up with the endorsement of IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards, by your IOSCO. Recently, IOSCO is what? International Organization of Securities Commission. So first of all, remember this is going to be very important since it is in news. So IOSCO is International Organization of Securities Commission. International Organization of Securities Commission is basically working towards financial reporting laws, standards of these companies associated with financial market at the global level. तो global level पे जो भी companies आपकी financial markets में काम कर रही हैं, capital markets में काम कर रही हैं, so the companies associated with them, उनका financial या reporting standards को monitor करती है, rules बनाती है, right? So this is the thing, International Organization of Securities Commission. This commission has recently adopted international financial reporting standards. So that's why this is in news and it is continuously evolving. It wants all these companies associated with securities market or capital market to be prompt, to be very effectively following the ESG guidelines. Right? This is the catch. Now from here, you need to remember where is this headquartered. So this International Organization of Securities Commission is headquartered at Madrid, Spain, remember. Madrid. Total regulators which are part of it, 35 regulators. SEBI as a regulator of the financial market is also a member and it is member of all the 8 policy committees which it has. Remember. So in total, if you see, the financial market regulators all over the world, they are part of it to align, to synchronize the reporting standards. Overall, 35 regulators. How many? 35 regulators are part of it. SEBI from India, the financial market regulator, is also a part of it in all its 8 policy committees, right? This is the thing. Then next we have RBI has recently announced redemption price for the premature withdrawal of sovereign gold bond 2019-20 series 9 due on Feb 11 2025. Sovereign gold bond are very important. You must have read them in the circulars and schemes also, right? So sovereign gold bond is something which is not current, it is actually static push. They offer you good investment opportunities. कुछ lock-in period होता है which you need to maintain, right? You can earn a good amount on it, but the thing is interest is taxable or not, right? So yes, taxable. So sovereign gold bond से associated जितनी भी आपकी provisions हैं, I think they are there in your circulars, RBI circulars. Sovereign gold bond you must read carefully in depth. Right now the news is redemption price has been announced by RBI. What is this redemption price? So in sovereign gold bond, redemption price is basically when you buy back the security, you pay it, right? So the price at which suppose you buy back the bond or you buy back the security. So buyback करने के लिए अच्छा premature withdrawal, is it allowed? Yes, but according to the guidelines, premature redemption of these bonds is permitted only after the completion of 5 years from the issue date. So remember, this is not the case that even after few months or 1 year or 1.5 years you can have the premature withdrawal from this. No, at least 5 years should be completed. So as I told you, lock-in period, right? These are typical features. So please go through sovereign gold bonds carefully. RBI Grade B particularly asks these questions. Almost every year you see kind of questions coming from sovereign gold bond, right? So remember this price is going to be 8,499 rupees per unit of SGB, which is a simple average of closing gold price for the 3 business days. Last 3 business days, what was the average of closing gold price? That is only taken as the redemption price. So remember, figure is also important. What is the redemption price? 8,499 rupees per unit of the bond you are holding. 8,499. Remember, 8,499 per unit of SGB. Okay? And remember that this is the redemption price, the price when the bond is, say, when you are buying it back. So this is the thing. Then next we have SEBI to expand scope of category 2 AIF investment. This is important. See, AIFs में alternate investment funds. What are alternate investment funds? They are different from your mutual fund. They invest in alternative investment options or securities. Like mutual fund, traditional investment क्या है? Mutual funds है, shares है ना? But AIF, they invest in, say, different instruments. Like you have hedge funds, more complex securities like hedge funds, venture capital, all these things. है ना? So AIF can be divided into 3 categories. Category 1 is that which is dealing with the social segment, like small scale industries and all. Category 3 is more complex kind of investments done by AIF, complex investment, hedge funds, etc. Category 2 is the residual category, anything which is not specified in 1 and 3. So this is category 2. Now what SEBI says that we are planning to expand the scope of category 2 AIF. Presently, there is concentration of investment coming from AIF in the unlisted securities. Presently what is happening, they are majorly investing in the unlisted securities. So there's a dearth of investment coming in listed debt securities. Listed जो हमारी debt securities हैं, you know already what is the difference between unlisted and listed, right? So unlisted is, those are not listed on the stock exchanges, and debt securities, you know what are debt securities, via which we raise debt, basically debt raising instruments like bonds, etc. Clear? So what is happening right now is AIFs are particularly investing in unlisted securities because they are more profitable. Got that point? So the investment coming into the listed debt securities is suffering. That's why SEBI wants that we want you to invest in both these kind, unlisted securities as well as listed debt securities. This is the push coming from SEBI. That is about category 2 AIF. So that's how SEBI says that category 2 AIFs may be nudged in future to invest in listed debt securities which are having a credit rating agency of A or credit rating of A or below, right? So basically, if you see almost 192 schemes of category 2 AIFs, which are presently, they have invested more than 50% in the unlisted one. We have data as well. So SEBI basically wants, I hope you have understood the news, SEBI wants no concentration in unlisted debt only. We want you to invest in the listed securities also. That is the push coming from SEBI, right? Let's see how it rolls out in the future. The next news we have is again coming from SEBI. SEBI has recently issued new norms on unclaimed funds. Unclaimed funds. This is not something coming only first time. Earlier also we have discussed this thing. SEBI has been very stringent on how are the brokers and stock exchanges are maintaining the unclaimed funds of the clients, right? So SEBI has come out with a proposal, guidelines on treatment of unclaimed funds and securities lying with the brokers. Suppose there is a client and the fund had to be settled, the amount had to be settled, it could not be settled with the client. So that remains unclaimed. So there is very much rise in the unclaimed deposits nowadays. How do you deal with them? What are the guidelines? This can be very important. First thing, as per the current norms, let's discuss the present provision and then the new ones. As per the current norms, brokers are required to settle the credit balance with their clients, okay, on first Friday or Saturday of every month or quarter. As per the recent norms, all the brokers, they have to settle this balance, credit balance of whatever client have registered with them on every Friday and or Saturday. So basically, either first Friday, remember, first Friday or Saturday of every month or quarter, as the case may be. Month or quarter ka first Friday or Saturday you have to settle it. Now what is the new rule? What is the new rule? So as per the new rules, now client accounts will be put under enquiry status, and the brokers will contact the client immediately. If any such payment is due, any such settlement of fund is due with the client, immediately the client accounts will be put under enquiry status. Remember, immediately it will be put under enquiry status and the brokers will have to contact the clients immediately via mail, phone, SMS, whatever it is. Remember. Now suppose if that does not happen within 30 days, okay, immediately you could not contact or the client is unreachable, you are unable to contact the client via any means, in that case the client funds can be parked in liquid mutual funds or overnight schemes to clearing corporations within 30 days of the funds becoming unclaimed. So first you put it in inquiry status, then you try to contact with the clients. If contact is not possible within 30 days, that goes to mutual fund, liquid mutual fund, okay, and then it goes to clearing corporations within 30 days of the fund becoming unclaimed. Within 30 days, when the fund became unclaimed, it goes to clearing corporations. And remember, if fund remains unclaimed for 1 year, if it remains unclaimed, it will be transferred to the designated, whatever stock exchange it was trading on or it was dealing with, जो भी settlement जिस भी stock से related था, so it will be designated, it will be transferred to the designated stock exchange bank account, remember. And then if the fund remains unclaimed for 3 years, then the stock exchange will again transfer it to investor protection fund. These are the steps you need to remember. Investor protection fund. So first of all, remember inquiry status mein they will put 30 days tak, if it is not set up, then it will be transferred to liquid mutual fund within 30 days. If it does not get settled, then more than 1 year it will be transferred to designated stock exchange bank account, and more than 3 years it will be transferred to investor protection fund. Okay. Now in case the broker is a declared defaulter, if the broker is a defaulter, All such unclaimed funds will be downstreamed or settled and transferred directly to dedicated bank account of the dedicated stock exchange. Now suppose broker itself is, a defaulter. In that case, what will happen? All such fund will be transferred to dedicated stock exchanges bank account. That is simply the news coming from here. I hope you have understood this. Next one. SEBI mandates brokers to establish separate business units. Now this is important. Please remember separate business unit. If you have gone through my MPC class, recently we have discussed on 7th Feb, it was out, right? So MPC highlights may at the end of the class I have discussed with you the additional measures taken by the MPC or announced by RBI. One of the additional measure was earlier the brokers were not allowed, non-bank brokers, they were not allowed to participate in the government security secondary market trading on the NDS-OM platform, but now they will be allowing them. Now the non-bank entities like brokers will also be allowed to participate. This was the news. We have covered it in the MPC class also, latest one. So now SEBI has mandated that for such purpose, when the broker wants to initiate secondary market trade on the NDS-OM platform, you have to have this thing, what? Separate business unit. This separate business unit will be used for this trading on NDS-OM. So remember, separate business unit. Via it, you will be trading in government securities through NDS-OM. NDS-OM is what? Negotiated Dealing System Order Matching. So basically you see, the primary market trading happens on the eKuber platform. Lots of auctions and all, like you have VRR, VRRR, they are notified on the eKuber platform, which is CBS, Core Banking Solution Platform of RBI. Now, what is the basic difference between eKuber and NDS-OM? The basic difference is NDS-OM facilitates secondary market, but eKuber does not, right? Remember, so this is going to be there on NDS-OM. NDS-OM, Negotiated Dealing System Order Matching. As I told you, used for secondary market trade in government securities. Earlier, it was only available to regulated entities like banks and other financial institutes. But now recently MPC meeting was there. They have decided to extend it to brokers also, like, clients of banks or suppose non-bank entities like brokers, etc. So for that, SBO will be exclusively handling these transactions. Okay, remember, for these brokers, the separate business unit will be handling these transactions on the NDS-OM, separate business unit. Remember this thing, SBU. I hope it is clear. The next also coming from SEBI. SEBI has tightened the norms for related party transactions, statutory auditors. Related party transactions. Related party are, suppose there's a parent company, it has its subsidiaries, lot of directors and all at the managerial positions. So related party transactions are to be regulated also, because you never know how the resources and funds are diverged, isn't it? So this framework has been made stricter. What does it say? First thing, related party transaction of material subsidiaries may require audit committee approval. First of all, who are material subsidiaries? Which entity will be called as material subsidiary of a parent company? In that case, always remember, material subsidiary is a subsidiary whose income or net worth is more than 10% of the consolidated income or net worth of the parent company. There's one subsidiary whose income or net worth is more than 10% than the consolidated income or net worth of the parent company, then it is a material subsidiary of it. Okay, then it is a material subsidiary of it. Remember, so such related party transactions, what are related party transactions? Related party transactions are, transactions between related parties like your subsidiaries, your associates, your managerial partners, जितनी भी कंपनी के subsidiaries हो सकते हैं, right? In terms of resources, services you are providing them, obligations between you, all these can be related party transactions. So any such transaction which is, when the value is exceeding 10% of subsidiaries standalone turnover, it will require approval from audit committee. This is the catch, remember. So related party transaction of material subsidiaries it may require audit committee approval, as I told you, when transactions are exceeding 10% of the subsidiaries turnover. 10%, right? Also, this is not only sufficient. Apart from this, you will have to require the shareholder permission. जितने भी शेयर होल्डर्स हैं उनकी परमिशन भी चाहिए होगी. You will be required shareholders permission for these transactions if they cross 1000 crore mark or 10% of the listed entities turnover, the parent company's turnover, right? Either they cross 1000 crore mark of transaction, 1000 crores, or 10% of the consolidated turnover of your parent company. In both these cases, you require audit committee approval and shareholders approval. This is the catch. Now, for this audit committee approval, SEBI in future may specify eligibility criteria for such statutory auditors, those who will be conducting this audit. Statutory auditors, they are responsible for, verifying the accuracy and fairness of your financial statements of the company. So this is the catch coming from here. Both the requirements you need to remember. This was about regulatory body news. Then moving on to ESI Finance and Business News. ESI Finance and Business News. First of all, Center has recently allocated rupees 500 crore to National Manuscripts Mission. Remember, National Manuscripts Mission or National Mission for Manuscript. What is this National Mission for Manuscript? National Mission for Manuscript, for the next 6 years it has been set out for collecting and conserving India's manuscripts, which are heritage for us, right? So, uske liye 500 crore have been given. And this falls under which ministry? Remember, Manuscripts Mission falls under Ministry of Tourism and Culture. And this year onwards, it has been made Central Sector Scheme. This National Mission on Manuscripts has been put under Central Sector Scheme. Remember, that means 100% funding and implementation would be done by central government. Remember. So this is going to be important. 500 crores fund you need to remember. Exactly nahi hai 500, but approx 500 hai. Exact amount if you can remember is 491.66. Exact amount is 491.66 crores. Okay. Exact amount is 491.66 crores. Then next is, recently Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited has secured a project of more than 8,000 crores from Maharashtra State Power Grid Generation Company Limited. For what? For boiler turbine generator at Koradi. Okay, so this is the place, Koradi Thermal Power Station. Where is this Koradi Thermal Power Station? Remember the location. Koradi Thermal Power Station is near Nagpur in Maharashtra. So this has been given to Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited. 8,000 crores ka project it is. Then next is Hyundai Motor recently has been added to. This is a very probable area of question. Remember, if you see RBI, the last paper, phase 1 GA, they've asked this question when India got listed in the JP Morgan index, right? You remember that, anyone? Yes or no? JP Morgan ka pucha tha when it was there, because it was continuously in news. Now this is MSCI, which is also very important index. So MSCI mein Hyundai Motor India has been added. Very probable area of question. Write it down separately. Okay. So MSCI has added Hyundai Motor India to MSCI Emerging Markets Index and also to MSCI India Domestic Index. Both the indexes it has added Hyundai Motors. Remember, MSCI Emerging Markets Index and MSCI India Domestic Index, right? And it has removed also. So remember who has been added plus who has been removed. Added Hyundai Motor India, removed Adani Green Energy. Adani Green Energy has been removed from it. MSCI is very important international index, and MSCI India index is also very important. Particularly, why is it important? Why investors they track MSCI index? Because it is associated with companies who are working in these sectors, which are the future sectors of any economy, like IT, okay, finance. So IT, finance, etc. These sectors they are working with. So that becomes more important. MSCI recently also we have covered in the previous CA classes. I hope you remember. So please remember Hyundai Motor. This is very important. And Hyundai Motor India Limited is the only large cap Indian stock that has been added to MSCI Global Standard Index. This is very, very important, definitive area of question. Okay. So remember Hyundai Motor India is the only large cap Indian stock as well to be added in MSCI Global Standard Index. And around 20 stocks they were added in MSCI India Domestic Small Cap Index and 17 were removed recently. 17 removed and 20 were added. All right. Then next news is Lam Research Limited. Lam Research has announced major investment of 10,000 crores in India in semiconductor industry. What is Lam Research? Lam Research is an important company fabricating components related to semiconductor. So it is very important supplier in terms of fabricated materials or fabricated units in terms of semiconductor industry. Semiconductor industry ke liye they are providing. So Lam Research has announced they will be investing over 10,000 crore rupees in India. Particularly they have signed recently an MOU with the government of Karnataka. Remember, government of Karnataka, where semiconductor industry they will be investing into. Because India has a proper dedicated mission associated with semiconductor industry. Semiconductor is very important area of questions for all of you. So remember, when was this mission launched? So the Indian Semiconductor Mission was launched in 2021. Outlay is 76,000 crores under the MeitY, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So this has to be remembered. Then next, Asia Index Private Limited, which is a subsidiary company of BSE, the oldest stock exchange of Asia. So Asia Index Private Limited, subsidiary of BSE, it has unveiled 5 new indices. 5 new indices have been unveiled by Asia Index Private Limited. Which are they? BSE 1000, remember, BSE 1000, BSE Next 500, BSE 250 Micro Cap. So, mid cap, large cap, small cap. Now you have micro cap as well. Micro cap. What are these cap? Cap basically in terms of market capitalization. What is your market capitalization? Uske basis pe, right? BSE Next, then BSE Next 250 micro cap and BSE 1000 multi cap, equal size weighted 25%. So, yahan par you need to remember these 5 names only. You don't need to go into much technicalities. You just remember these 5 are the indexes launched by Asia Index Private Limited. Remember their names as it is. BSE 1000, BSE Next 500, BSE 250 Micro Cap, BSE Next 250 Micro Cap and BSE 1000 Multi Cap. Okay. Why? Because there are diverse range of companies. If they do not fall suitable under say small cap category, mid cap category, we have micro cap now as well, to provide them a space, okay, to provide them an opportunities and to capture their performance. Lot of companies are performing well in these segments. So that's why. Also diversify the coverage of these companies from India's equity market. And presently, because Asia Index is in news, so remember who is the present MD and CEO of Asia Index, Ashutosh Singh. Then next news is India's Finance Minister has recently announced an amendment to the Customs Tariff Act. This is going to be very important. Recently, the Customs Tariff Act has been amended to provide for HS, Harmonized System Codes, for the export of GI tagged rice. The geographical indication is provided to secure the producer of that item. GI tags we have. Presently, how many GI tags do we have? Anyone? Presently, India has how many GI tags? You will be telling me in the comment section. Presently, how many GI tags does India have? So this HS code, Harmonized System Code has been brought by Finance Ministry, where HS code will be provided to GI tagged rice, particularly the paraboiled rice and white rice. Paraboiled rice क्या होता है? जिसमें within the husk rice is boiled, so it does not cook completely. Then the husk is removed later on, and it preserves the original nutrients also. So it is more healthy than the white rice, right? So 2 categories will be provided. They have been provided from 1st February itself. Remember, HS code 10063011 for paraboiled and 10063091 for white rice. And Indian Patent Office, it has given GI tag to 20 rice varieties. Presently, rice varieties, if we talk about 20 rice varieties, they have received GI tags. So this has been brought by Indian government, harmonized system of code. What is the importance of the decision? Remember, because GI tag rise, they find good marketplace at the global level. GI tag gives them a good position in the global market. Now what happens is, most of all, MSMEs, small scale industries, they are associated. Small marginal farmers are also associated with them. It sometimes becomes very cumbersome process to export the GI tagged rice. To make the export process more easier and to reduce the other kind of documentations and verifications required, GI tagged rice have been provided with HS code. This HS code is harmonized code. It will provide them seamless access to the global markets. This is the catch from the news. Remember. Then moving to banking news. First is PhonePe. PhonePe has recently exited, okay, from account aggregator business. Account aggregator business say PhonePe is winding up. So this can be important, winding up. And remember, presently there are 16 RBI registered NBFC AA. So first of all, what are these account aggregators? Account aggregator permission or license is given by RBI, right? So RBI gives this license to such entities who want to perform financial intermediary role. What happens is, there might be a user that can be a company and individual. They want to share their financial information to, access loan or funds, whatever, their financial information. Suppose there is a user, it wants that I want all these banks and financial institutions to have my information because I want to approach them, because I want to benefit out of their services, right? There's this user. And there are banks, and then you have financial institutions, NBFCs, etc. They want to access all such information to provide their services, products. So account aggregators facilitate this exchange of information between the user who has given the consent. Here, the consent is something very important. You cannot share such information without the consent of the user. So with the consent, the account aggregators, they provide a platform where they share this information with the consent of the user with all these financial institutes. So it boosts the financial information sharing. With this framework, PhonePe has exited, and remember, presently 16 RBI registered NBFC account aggregators are there in India. Then next is, RBI has recently approved Tata Communications plan to sell Tata Communications payment solutions to Transaction Solutions International. Tata recently has planned to sell Tata Communications payment solutions to Transaction Solutions International for 330 crores. Why? Because they want to expand their financial services sector, particularly in the underbanked areas. So with this acquisition, they will be, expanding. Because if you see this Transaction Solutions International, it is operating more than 7,500 brown label ATMs. So with this, Tatas will get a boost. Okay. More than 7,500 brown label ATMs. Now this is interesting categorization. You have brown, white, green, orange, yellow label banks, ATMs. What are these? Not going into all of them, but basically there's a difference which you should remember, you must remember, between white and brown label ATMs. Brown label ATMs, they are basically operated by the banks. Fund might be provided by some third party sponsor, but basically the brown label ATMs are operated by banks, remember. Brown label ATMs are operated by banks. That's why you see they are operating 7,500 brown label ATMs in partnership with banks like SBI, PNB, Central Bank of India, etc. And what are white label ATMs? White label ATMs are operated by non-bank entities. Okay, white label, they can be operated by private companies, just Tata, etc. So this is the, remember, this is the difference between brown label and white label ATMs. Brown label ATMs banks operate करते हैं, white label ATMs non-banks. Then next is the EaseBuzz. EaseBuzz is again a payment solutions provider. EaseBuzz has received authorization from RBI to operate as online payment aggregator. Online payment aggregator. So remember, who has recently got the license to work as online payment aggregator? EaseBuzz. Okay. Remember this thing. Now, what are these online payment aggregators? They are basically, third-party service providers. They are third-party service providers which enable your businesses, to accept online transactions via various methods. So, online payment aggregators, they are third-party service providers. All the businesses, etc., they can access multiple methods of payment with the help of online payment aggregators. Now, this is the difference between account aggregator and online payment aggregator. Account aggregator आपका financial information share कर रहा था, ठीक है, between user and banks and other entities. यहाँ पर online payment aggregators, they are providing multiple methods of accepting, online payments to the businesses. This is the thing. So, for this purpose, EaseBuzz has recently received authorization from RBI. Now, moving on to national and state news. National news mein we first have 52nd edition of the recent World Book Fair, which concluded in New Delhi on 9th February. So, it was important to remember, Bharat Mandapam it was held, and what was the theme? Theme was Republic at the rate 75. It was organized by National Book Trust and India Trade Promotion Organization. It was organized by NBT and ITPO. NBT and ITPO, National Book Trust and India Trade Promotion Organization. Then next you have is Tata Motors has announced launch of its registered vehicle scrapping facility. Vehicle scrapping is also important, right? To reduce, automobile waste, etc. So Tata Motors has recently announced registered vehicle scrapping facility in Guwahati, Assam, which has a capacity of dismantling 15,000 vehicles annually. This can be important to remember. Guwahati, Assam, it has been recently inaugurated. Then very important news, Himachal Pradesh has begun work on North India's first green hydrogen plant. Himachal Pradesh will be having North India's first green hydrogen plant at Dabota, Nalagarh. Remember, Dabota, Nalagarh. This is going to be very significant because green hydrogen is a very important area. Also remember, Himachal Pradesh has set this target to become India's first green state. Okay, India's first green state by 31st March 2026 itself. Let's see, does it become the first green state of India? So that is quite ambitious target. And with this, remember, at Dabhota, Nalagarh in Himachal Pradesh, it will be setting up North India's first green hydrogen plant, Himachal Pradesh. Then next is, Cabinet has recently renamed the Voltaire Division, Railway Division as Vishakhapatnam Division. So this can be important to remember. It has renamed Voltaire Division, the Railway Division, Voltaire Division in South, to Vishakhapatnam Division. Also, in January 2025, Prime Minister has laid the foundation stone of South Coast Railway Zone, which was headquartered at Vishakhapatnam. This South Coast Railway Zone is the 18th zone of Indian Railways, remember. So these two news are important. It will be 18th zone, okay. It has been carved out from East Coast Railway and South Central Railway zones. So you need to remember, this is going to be 18th zone. So presently, how many divisions and zones will be there? This is going to be 18th, so 18 zones. Divisions, if you remember, recently we have covered in January itself, 69th division. Jammu has been declared as 69th Railway Division, right? Jammu has been declared as 69th Railway Division. So this is going to be 18th zone. So 69 divisions and 18 zones you have. Remember, the South Coast South Coast Railway Zone. Also, Voltaire Division has been renamed as Vishakhapatnam. Then next is recently University of Surrey, UK. University of Surrey, UK, it has decided to open its campus in Gift City, Gujarat. In some of the recent CA classes, I have discussed with you what are the criteria on the basis of which Gift City may foreign universities can set up their campus. I have discussed them with them in detail, right? So remember, one of the criteria was that it should be in top 300 in the QS world ranking, top 300. Other are also there, but that criteria I have already discussed with all of you. So I hope you remembered it, and please revise it carefully, because recently we have this news again and again coming. So they can ask you these criteria also. Remember, which university? University of Surrey. University of Surrey will be establishing its campus in the Gift City, Gujarat. With this, total number of foreign university campus in India would be 7. Total number of foreign university campuses in India would be 7. Okay. Remember that. And as I told you, one of the criteria is you have to be in 300 education institutions ranking. So it is ranked among top 300. Two facts only you have to remember from here. Total number of foreign university campus, with this we have 7, and University of Surrey, UK is going to be entering Gift City. Okay. Next is India set up EFTA desk to promote trade and investment. EFTA abhi bhi pucha gaya tha. This year examination, they have asked you the countries associated with EFTA, the founding members of EFTA. So 4 countries are there. You remember Norway, Switzerland, Iceland and Liechtenstein. Okay. This is going to be important. Again, EFTA is in news. So please remember everything about EFTA. India has set up a dedicated EFTA desk. What this desk will be doing? It will be promoting trade and investment and business facilitation between India and EFTA. To promote India and EFTA trade, it has been established. EFTA bloc, is represented by Switzerland, Norway, Iceland and Liechtenstein. And in this bloc, within this EFTA bloc, which is the largest trading partner for India. So out of these 4 countries, largest trading partner for India is Switzerland. Remember, I am not telling you largest trading partner at the global level. No, we are only talking about the largest trading partner from EFTA bloc. It is Switzerland. Then next is recently Union Minister for Health and Family Welfare Jagat Prakash Nadda has launched annual nationwide mass drug administration campaign. Okay, annual nationwide mass drug administration campaign to eliminate lymphatic filariasis. Remember this thing, to eliminate lymphatic filariasis. What is this lymphatic filariasis? It is caused by mosquito bite, etc. It leads to this malfunctioning of the human body. It is also known as, in common language, it is also known as hathi pav. Hathi pav. Okay. It can lead to lot of physical disabilities. So this is lymphatic filariasis, and India has a target to eliminate this lymphatic filariasis by 2027. By 2027. This target you need to remember. India aims to eliminate lymphatic filariasis by 2027. It is also known as hathi pav, and it leads to a lot of physical disabilities. Then next news we have is Union Petroleum Minister has said India has diversified its crude oil imports. Now we are sourcing crude oil from 40 countries. This diversification is important because heavy reliance on 1 or 2 countries makes us vulnerable. If something happens in that country, the supply gets affected and we get affected. Everything becomes expensive and the economy gets disrupted, suffers a lot. So that is good. India has diversified its import sources. For almost 40 countries we are importing from, and Argentina has also joined this group as the latest supplier. So this is the question from here. Remember, everyone, are you getting my point? Catching up with me? Yes or no? Anyone there? Right? So remember, with this diversification, they can ask you which is the latest country from which India is importing crude oil. This can be a probable question. So the latest addition in this list is Argentina. Latest addition is Argentina. Got this point? Yes or no? So latest addition is Argentina, remember. If they ask you who is the latest or which country is the latest addition in terms of countries from which India is importing crude oil, so Argentina will be the correct answer. And major oil suppliers to India are US, Russia, Saudi Arabia and UAE and Iraq. These are the top crude oil or oil suppliers to India. Remember, US. First is US. Recently we have covered these rankings also. Top oil suppliers to India. First is US, then Russia, then Saudi Arabia, then UAE and then Iraq. US, Russia, Saudi Arabia, UAE and Iraq. This is going to be important, remember. The next news is your Federation of Indian Fantasy Sports. Fantasy sports are now gaining a lot of prominence. So this is just a fact, remember. Fantasy Sports has launched Sports Data Gamathon. Fantasy Sports, Federation of Indian Fantasy Sports has recently launched this Sports Data Gamathon, which is a sports-based AI challenge. And it is going to be powered by Dream 11. Dream 11, you all know Dream 11. So Dream 11 is going to be powered by Dream 11. Then next is Andhra Pradesh will be establishing a data city in Visakhapatnam. Andhra Pradesh is planning to establish a dedicated data city in Visakhapatnam with a lot of data centers and AI hubs. Data city will be there. It will be adding to big data and other capacities of Andhra Pradesh. Then next is Karnataka recently has launched industrial policy. Karnataka government has recently launched its industrial policy for 2024-29, with which they are aiming to generate 20 lakh employment opportunities by 2029. Then international news, let's move to, we have 3 Baltic nations. Which are the Baltic countries? So 3 countries are there which are known as Baltic countries. This is very important because Baltic countries are in news. You already know Scandinavian countries are there like Denmark, Norway, Sweden, right? So Baltic countries तो 3 ही हैं, इनका नाम आपको ध्यान होना चाहिए. Baltic countries are Lithuania, Estonia and Latvia. So 2 from L and 1 from E, right? Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania. Remember, Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania. These 3 Baltic nations, they have officially disconnected their electricity systems from Russia's power grid. Russia power grid say they have disconnected their electricity systems. This is showing their commitment towards EU. They want to be integrated closely with the European Union and get disconnected with the other regions. So this is coming from Baltic countries, Latvia, then Estonia and Lithuania. Remember. Then next is FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, which is headquartered at Rome, Italy. It has recently launched a 7-year project with Somalia. FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, has launched 7-year project with Somalia for climate related adaptation and resilience in agriculture, because Somalia and lot of communities there are vulnerable to climate threat to agriculture. This project has been launched by FAO. So FAO headquarters is very important always. It is headquartered at Rome, Italy. And Somalia capital and currency will also be important, remember. And title of the project is Climate Resilient Agriculture in Somalia. Okay, or another name of this project is UGBAD. Remember, another name of the project is UGBAD. What is the capital of Somalia? It is Mogadishu, and Currency is Somalia shilling. Then next is Prime Minister recently, Prime Minister and French President Emmanuel Macron, they will inaugurate India's second diplomatic mission in France. They are trying to inaugurate second diplomatic mission of India to France in Indian consulate in Marseille. Okay, to further strengthen Indo-French ties. Talking about MOUs, first is between Defense Ministry and Bharat Electronics Limited for new generation offshore petrol vessels. You know, offshore petrol vessels are very important for Navy. Indian Navy के लिए बहुत important है, and they will be training ships. There will be training ships as well. So this contract has been given for new generation offshore petrol vessels and other cadet training ships for Indian Navy. The contract has been given to Bharat Electronics Limited by Defense Ministry. Then next is between Amazon and Directorate General of Foreign Trade, DGFT. They have signed this MOU to boost e-commerce exports from India, promoting e-commerce exports from India. Next is Policy Bazaar and HDFC Life. Policy Bazaar and HDFC Life have signed an MOU to offer HDFC Life Click to Protect Ultimate, which is a term product with 100% claim assurance. So basically एक इंश्योरेंस प्रोडक्ट है जो इन्होंने लॉन्च किया है इस MOU के साथ. Remember, that is going to be not so much important, but you can just try to remember it. Then next is IDFC First Bank and Icons Studios. IDFC First Bank and Icons Studios have signed this MOU to, leverage on the power of AI, extended reality, to create immersive experience. And with this, they will be trying to produce holographic avatars. (3D) kind of holograms, hai na? So with the use of AI, they will be bringing in. So remember, first holographic avatar has also been launched at IDFC First Bank's Juhu branch. Holographic kya hota hai? Where you have this 3D kind of models, holograms kind of things. So they are trying to leverage on AI based technology. Then next is Labor Ministry and the job portal found it. Labor Ministry and found it. Found it kya hai? Found it job portal hai. What is Found It? Found It is job portal. Labor Ministry has signed MOU with Found It for enhancement of job creation opportunities. Then India and Nicaragua have signed MOU to implement quick impact projects. Physical and social infrastructure development के लिए India will be helping Nicaragua in development of physical and social infrastructure with quick impact. So remember this. The next MOU is between Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade and Korea Transport Institute to boost collaboration in logistics infrastructure. This can be important. Logistics के लिए government is constantly working, right? Logistics infrastructure development के लिए we have signed an MOU by DPIIT. It has been signed with Korea Transport Institute to boost logistics infrastructure. Next is National Archives of India and National Records and Archives Authority of Oman. They have signed an MOU for cooperation on historical records, providing public access to historical records, both the countries, Oman and India. Then next is Nippon Life India AMC and Nissay AMC have joined hands for so basically Nippon Life India Asset Management recently has launched this Nippon India ETF Nifty 50 BEES gift, which is a feeder fund. So recently, remember who has launched this? Nippon India ETF Nifty 50 BEES gift. This is a feeder fund which is launched. What is a feeder fund? There's a master fund and there's a feeder fund. Okay, there's a master fund and there's a feeder fund. Feeder fund क्या होता है? Feeder fund basically pools all this money from the investors. Feeder fund pools all this money from the investors. Feeder fund collects the money. It does not invest directly, remember. So it pools the money for the master fund, for its master fund. And this master fund then does the trade, executes the trade or the investment. I hope you understood. So this is the news. Then next is Bharat Electronics Limited and Safran Electronics and Defense France have signed an MOU. This is very, very important to remember. Out of all these we have discussed in the list, this is the most important one. Bharat Electronics Limited and Safran Electronics and Defense France have signed an MOU. For what? For manufacturing, customizing, sales and maintenance of HAMMER. What is this HAMMER? HAMMER stands for High Agile Modular Munition Extended Range. This is kind of a weapon system, kind of missile actually, right? So weapon hai HAMMER. HAMMER ka full form you need to remember. Highly Agile Modular Munition Extended Range. Highly Agile Modular Munition Extended Range. Combat proven weapon system hai, which will be framed, and it has high accuracy, okay, and it can be adaptable for on lot of platforms. It can be used like Rafale, Tejas, in सब में incorporate किया जा सकता है. So this is very important. HAMMER. For HAMMER, who has signed the MOU? This is important, please remember. Bharat Electronics Limited and Safran Electronics and Defense France. Last MOU between GE Aerospace. So GE Aerospace with Indian Air Force for MRO, maintenance, repair and overhaul of T700 GE70ID engines. So basically these engines are powering the Apache helicopters of Indian Air Force. These engines, they are powering the Apache helicopters of Indian Air Force. For this, the MOU has been signed. Mergers and acquisition mein we have RIL. RIL is set to acquire 49% stake in the London-based Oval Invincibles cricket team. So Reliance Industries, okay, Reliance Industries owned Mumbai Indians through its subsidiary Rise Worldwide announced acquisition of 49% stake in the London-based Oval Invincibles. Remember. Then Torrent Group is to acquire majority stake in Gujarat Titans. Your Ahmedabad-based Torrent Group is acquiring 66% stake in Gujarat Titans. Moving on to Science and Tech. Science Tech mein you have Pakistan Space and Upper Atmosphere Research Commission. It has partnered with China National Space Administration CNSA for upcoming Change 8 lunar mission. Okay, so this is Pakistan's first involvement in lunar exploration mission. This can be important. Remember which is the country and what is the mission. Country is Pakistan, mission is Change 8, which is first lunar mission from Pakistan. Then next is IIT Roorkee. IIT Roorkee team has found this superbugs defense mechanism. Okay, so there is this drug called Acinetobacter baumannii. Okay, the name is Acinetobacter baumannii. Acinetobacter baumannii. It is highly resistant against lot of medicines, antibiotics, and it is life threatening. So IIT Roorkee team recently has found certain kind of defense mechanism against this drug. Okay, so remember these are Acinetobacter baumannii. These are life-threatening infections. Recently, IIT Roorkee has found defense mechanism against them. बस आपको इसका नाम ध्यान रखना है और किसने डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म निकाला है वो ध्यान रखना है, ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं होगा. Then next is India has launched its first indigenous automated biomedical waste treatment plant. Biomedical waste treatment plant, which is indigenous and automated. So this can be important, right? India's first indigenous as well as automated biomedical waste treatment plant, Srijanam. What is the name? Srijanam. It has been installed at AIIMS New Delhi. Remember, Srijanam, AIIMS New Delhi. It will be helping in disinfecting lot of biomedical waste. AIIMS New Delhi mein Srijanam. And next is ISRO has recently carried out the ignition trial of indigenous CE20 cryogenic engine. So remember CE20, CE, cryogenic 20, CE20 cryogenic engine. CE stands for cryogenic engine here. CE20 का ISRO ने ट्रायल लॉन्च किया है. CE20, what is cryogenic engine? Cryogenic engine basically last stage में यूज होता है. आपकी अलग अलग stages होती हैं. There are different stages in launch vehicles, in engines of these launch vehicles. Different stages होती है. That can be solid, liquid, and a cryogenic. Cryogenic is more advanced kind of engine. Why? Because cryogenic, they use cryogenic fuel. Okay, and cryogenic technology क्या होती है? Cryogenic fuel और oxidizer use करते हैं. Cryogenic technology is related to minus 150, 152, 153 degree of temperatures. Minus 150 पे when you store something. Cryogenic is highly used in pharmaceuticals, forensics, because pharmaceuticals में, forensics में, you need to preserve evidences, you need to preserve samples. So this is the temperature, minus 150, 152, 153 degrees centigrade, isn't it? So cryogenic engine is used to power it is the last stage fuel used, particularly to power these launch vehicles which need more energy. Okay, so this is the thing. It will be used in the upper stage, as I told you. Upper stage में use होता है of LVM3. LVM3 क्या है? New name of the GSLV-M3, right? जो हमारा जियोसिंक्रोनस था, उसका ही नया नाम है LVM3. So this is remember CE20. CE20 इसरो ने लेटेस्ट टेस्ट किया है. कहां पर टेस्ट किया है? हाई एल्टीट्यूड टेस्ट फैसिलिटी एट इसरो प्रोपल्शन कॉम्प्लेक्स. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्ट. इसरो प्रोपल्शन कॉम्प्लेक्स इज लोकेटेड वेयर? इट इज लोकेटेड एट महेंद्रगिरी. रिमेंबर, तमिलनाडु. इट इज लोकेटेड एट महेंद्रगिरी, तमिलनाडु. Okay, then next we have is defense. Joint military exercise Cyclone 2025 is in news. Cyclone 2025 किस के बीच में है? Remember, Cyclone 2025 is a joint military exercise between India and Egypt. Recently it has begun in the Mahajan field ranges in Rajasthan. Okay, and this is third edition of the exercise. Third edition. Remember, edition is third. Countries Cyclone 2025 में India and Egypt. Mahajan field ranges in Rajasthan. Then next is X-winged Raider. X-winged Raider. This is what? This is also joint training exercise between Indian Army and Indian Air Force. Between Indian Army and Indian Air Force. Okay. Eastern Theatre में it is happening. Where Eastern Theatre? Eastern Theatre is basically the operational area of Indian Armed Forces. Primarily the area on the eastern borders, like which we cover with China and Myanmar. Then next is BEML Limited has unveiled its new brand identity. This can be very important. BEML Limited has unveiled its new brand identity, which is Infinix. At Aero India 2025, Infinix उन्होंने unveil किया है a bold new brand identity of BEML. Okay. So BEML headquarter becomes important. It is headquartered at Bengaluru. Next is India and UK. India and United Kingdom have signed couple of deals for collaboration in next generation weapons. Okay, with this your TAILS and BDL have signed this collaboration, remember. भारत डायनामिक्स लिमिटेड एंड टेल्स, आपको दोनों पार्टनर्स याद रखना है who have signed. So टेल्स from UK and BDL, भारत डायनामिक्स लिमिटेड have signed this contract for next generation weapon manufacturing together. India and UK. Then next is Hindustan Aeronautics Limited has renamed its flagship HJT-36 jet training aircraft as Yashas. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited recently has renamed its jet training aircraft HJT-36, which is used in training, to Yashas. Okay, remember Yashas. It is used for stage 2 pilot training. A stage 2 pilot training it is used. Yashas has been the new name. Indices and rankings, India has retained its third position. Remember, third position in US Green Building Council's Leadership in Energy and Environment Design 2024. Leadership in Energy and Environment Design. Who has topped the list? So basically it provides green certified spaces. How much have you been able to design on the basis of environment and energy efficiency? What are your green spaces? In this term, it ranks the countries. So who has topped the list? China has topped the list, remember. China has topped the list with 25 million such green certified spaces located in China. India is at the third position. Second is Canada. So top 5 countries, remember, first is China, second is Canada. CC दोनों top पे हैं, तो you can remember CC, China, Canada. Third is India, fourth is South Korea, and fifth is UAE. India का rank क्या है? Third rank है, remember. Then next is you have Prime Global Cities Index for quarter 4 of 2024. So real estate consultant Knight Frank has released this Prime Global Cities, okay, which is a valuation based survey which tracks the movement of residential prices, how much the residential prices have picked up in the top cities. So which are the top 5 cities in which residential prices have picked up maximum? So at the global level, Seoul is the most costliest. Okay, remember. South Korea, Seoul. Seoul is at the top in the global level. Second is Manila. Third is Dubai. Fourth is Tokyo. And fifth is Nairobi. Seoul, Manila, Dubai. Seoul, Manila, Dubai, Tokyo, and Nairobi. From India, you see the top city is New Delhi. New Delhi has witnessed 6.7% increase in the residential prices. New Delhi, then Mumbai, then Bangalore. So New Delhi का rank कितना है? 6, Mumbai का 7, Bangalore का 8. Remember 6, 7, 8. New Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore. Then next is Corruption Perceptions Index, very very important, which is released by Transparency International. Corruption Perceptions Index, which gives out outlook of corruption, how much corruption perception is there in the country, right? It is published by Transparency International. India का पहले इसमें rank था 93. Now it is 96. We have slipped to 96. So Corruption Perception Index 2024 has been released by Transparency International. Of course, Scandinavian countries have been topping this list. So this time also Denmark has topped the list. Then Finland, then Singapore, then New Zealand and Luxembourg. So Denmark has topped. India's rank is 96. Score is 38 out of 100. India is shrinking in terms of performance in corruption perception. Last year, our rank was 93. Okay. So remember, दोनों rank आप याद रख सकते हैं. 2023 में India's rank was 93. Now it is 96. This year, 2024. Then talking about reports, we have a recent study by scientists of ISRO. They have estimated the age of the region where Chandrayaan 3 landing site on the moon is located to be 3.7 billion years ago. जहां पर हमारा चंद्रयान 3 जो लैंडिंग साइट है मून का, उसकी एज निकाली है साइंटिस्ट ने. सो दिस इज नॉट सो मच इंपॉर्टेंट, बट इतना ही, बहुत टेक्निकलिटीज में नहीं जाना है. इंपॉर्टेंट तो है बट ओनली फैक्ट, राइट? सो रिमेंबर चंद्रयान 3 की जो लैंडिंग साइट है मून की, उसकी एज क्या है? 3.7 बिलियन ईयर्स अगो. 3.7 बिलियन ईयर्स उसकी एज है. एंड this has been calculated by scientists from ISRO's Physical Research Laboratory, Ahmedabad. Next is India's pharma exports have potential to reach $350 billion. A report has said that India's pharmaceutical exports, they are projected to double from $27 billion to an estimated to be at $350 billion by 2047. India की rank क्या है in terms of pharmaceutical exports by value? This can be important. In terms of pharmaceutical exports by value, India ranks at 11th position. And India is largest supplier of generic drugs globally. India is largest supplier of generic drugs, but in value terms, not in volume. In value terms of the total pharmaceutical exports which we do, India ranks at 11th position. Then recently we have this Niti Aayog launching a report titled Expanding Quality Higher Education Through States and State Public Universities. Niti Aayog has released this report, is going to be very important. Remember, expanding quality higher education through states and state public universities, in which they have ranked the performance of Indian states and UTs in terms of their expenditure as a percentage of GDP to higher education, right? How much they have spent as a percentage of GDP on higher education. This is the thing. So let's see each category. First, highest education spending. Highest education spending as a percentage of GDP is done by Jammu and Kashmir. J&K. Remember, highest education spending as percentage of GDP done by Jammu Kashmir, followed by Manipur. Lowest education spending as percentage of GDP, Delhi. Lowest is Delhi in terms of education spending. Then highest higher education budget, absolute amount mein, which state has allocated maximum budget to higher education? Maharashtra. Lowest higher education budget has been allocated by Sikkim. So please remember at least top performers in each category. Maximum education spending as percentage of GDP, Jammu and Kashmir. जनरल पब्लिक हैज दिस परसेप्शन कि J&K में लेवल अच्छा नहीं है एजुकेशनल सोशल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का. नो, बट द गवर्नमेंट इज कॉन्स्टेंटली वर्किंग, राइट? जम्मू कश्मीर. देन लोएस्ट education spending is in Delhi against the general common perception. Then you have highest higher education budget for Maharashtra and lowest is in Sikkim. Highest higher education spending as percentage of GSDP. So this is as percentage of GSDP as well, gross state domestic product. हाईएस्ट हायर एजुकेशन. सो अभी हमने बात की नॉर्मल सारे लेवल्स की, स्पेसिफिकली हायर एजुकेशन की बात करें, ठीक है, हायर एजुकेशन की. सो स्पेसिफिकली हायर एजुकेशन मैक्सिमम परसेंटेज ऑफ जीएसडीपी हैज बीन एलोकेटेड बाय बिहार. नाउ रिमेंबर दीज टू थिंग्स आर डिफरेंट. ओके, डोंट कंफ्यूज बिटवीन देम, डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज बिटवीन देम. व्हाट? फर्स्ट, highest education spending as percentage of the GDP, entire GDP we are talking about. Here we are not talking about state GDP, GSDP, no. Overall GDP का maximum percent to overall education, Jammu Kashmir, lowest Delhi. Then GSDP का proportion देखें अगर, so highest higher education spending as percentage of GSDP, Bihar, lowest Telangana. Top state in per youth spending, top state in per youth spending in terms of education is Kerala per youth, Kerala and Tamil Nadu and other states. Then lagging state in per youth spending, which is lagging behind, Rajasthan per youth spending mein. National average university density is to 0.8. National average university density is 0.8, remember. National average university density is 0.8. Then highest university density kahan par hai? Sikkim. Highest university density is Sikkim. Lowest university density is in Bihar. Highest density university is Sikkim, lowest Bihar. Higher female enrollment than male, Kerala में ही हो सकता है, because presently you see on these parameters Kerala has been at the top. So more female enrollment than male in Kerala. Balanced female to male enrollment, Chandigarh. Then state with most state public universities is Karnataka. Okay. सबसे ज्यादा स्टेट पब्लिक यूनिवर्सिटीज कहां पर हैं? कर्नाटका में. Then next we have is India's power demand rises 2.2%. So according to CRISIL intelligence, electricity demand in India rose approximately by 2.2%. Here you need not remember all the facts, you just remember that third warmest January was there in 125 years. third warmest January was there this year in 2020, since 125 years. 2025 का जो January था, it was third warmest since 125 years. Then next we have 3 Indian computer science students from New Delhi. They have won bronze award at Global Best M Government Awards. Okay, Global Best M Governance Award 2025 during World Government Summit held in Dubai. So first of all, remember, World Government Summit कहाँ हुई थी? दुबई में हुई थी. World Government Summit was held in Dubai. 3 students are Sagar, Abhinav and Anushka Singh. Sagar, Abhinav and Anushka Singh. Remember, Sagar, Abhinav and Anushka Singh. $10,000 का cash prize है. This MGOV award and GOV Tech award, they are prestigious annual honors presented by UAE government. So this is again important. Who presents these awards? These awards are presented by UAE government. Remember, they are presented by UAE government. Okay, MGOV award and Government Tech award. And this World Government Summit was held in Dubai only. It was 12th edition and the theme was Shaping Future Governments. Shaping Future Governments. Then festivals में we have Thai Pusam. Okay, Thai Pusam is a Hindu festival celebrated to honor Lord Murugan. Murugan Lord is basically Lord Kartikeya. As we know in Hindu mythology, Kartikeya Lord is Lord Murugan in South. So Thai Pusam is this festival very widely celebrated by Tamil community in Tamil Nadu. Also in Sri Lanka, Malaysia. So remember, Thai Pusam is associated with Lord Murugan. Then next, books की अगर हम बात करें, books में we have this book in news, I am question mark. It was recently launched by Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar. It has been compiled by Gopichand P. Hinduja. Sports, you have Kerala regains football gold after 28 years. So Kerala has defeated Uttarakhand, okay, after 28 years, to fetch gold in football. Then FIFA has banned Pakistan from national events. Remember, FIFA has recently suspended Pakistan Football Federation from taking part in any international competition. Then next one is ICC to launch Donate Organs, Save Lives. This can be important to remember. ICC, Jay Shah, the chief of ICC, has launched an initiative called Donate Organs and Save Lives regarding organ donation. Then 2025 Para Archery Asia Cup, very very important, where it was held. 2025 Para Archery Asia Cup was held in Bangkok, Thailand. In Bangkok, Thailand it was held, remember. And total medal tally at this event, if you see, medal tally has been topped by India. India has won maximum gold. So this can be important. Archery, Global Para Archery Asia Tournament. Where was it held? Bangkok. Okay. Bangkok. India has won maximum gold, 6 golds, remember. And Sarita from India has won the gold in Women's Compound Open and Shyam Sundar Swami in Men's Compound Open. Then Indian Snooker Championship, Pankaj Advani has secured 36th overall national title in snooker. Then you have Rotterdam Open. Rotterdam Open has been won by Carlos Alcaraz from Spain. Indoor games का title है ये. So Carlos Alcaraz has won this. Okay, remember, Rotterdam Open. Rotterdam Open has been won by Carlos Alcaraz. 2025 Chennai Open titles. You have this, just a second. Right. 2025 Chennai Open title, it has been won by Kyrgios Jacquet, French tennis player. Okay, Kyrgios Jacquet. Then Mumbai Open 2025 title women's single has been won by Swiss tennis player Jill Teichmann. Then appointments, Shiv Kumar Kalyan Raman appointed as first CEO of Anusandhan National Research Foundation. This can be important. अनुसंधान नेशनल रिसर्च फाउंडेशन R&D के लिए गवर्नमेंट ने स्टैब्लिश की थी. शिव कुमार कल्याण रामन हैज बीन अपॉइंटेड एज फर्स्ट सीईओ ऑफ अनुसंधान रिसर्च फाउंडेशन. देन कॉन्फ्रेंसेस में लेट्स डिस्कस द कॉन्फ्रेंसेस. वी हैव Paris, the capital of France. It will be hosting AI Action Summit 2025, or it has hosted AI Action Summit 2025 from 10 to 11 Feb. So where is this AI Action Summit was held? AI Action Summit 2025 was held at Paris. It was third edition. AI Action Summit Paris, third edition. फर्स्ट एडिशन कहाँ हुआ था? रिमेंबर, यूके में. सेकंड एडिशन हुआ था साउथ कोरिया में. एंड थर्ड इज फ्रांस. एआई एक्शन समिट, तीनों एडिशन इफ यू कैन रिमेंबर, एआई एक्शन समिट के फर्स्ट एडिशन यूके, सेकंड एडिशन साउथ कोरिया, थर्ड एडिशन फ्रांस, where they have discussed in lot of themes like public service AI, future of work, innovation culture, trust in AI, global governance. We have covered all these themes earlier as well, right? In AI action, we have discussed in CA. So remember this thing. Recently, third edition has been hosted by Paris. Next is Information and Broadcasting Ministry has organized recently XR Creator Hackathon. XR Creator Hackathon Delhi meetup at Noida in association with Waves 2025. Recently, you see audio visual challenges have been organized in Waves. So Waves के चलते ही this hackathon, Creator Hackathon, XR Creator Hackathon has been organized by IB in Noida. Then next is Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances, Government of India, in collaboration with International Institute of Administrative Sciences, Brussels. They have inaugurated a conference at Bharat Mandapam with the theme Next Generation Administrative Reforms Reaching the Last Mile, where they have focused for what kind of administrative and governance reforms do we require. So this was a collaboration, remember, between DARPG, Government of India, and IIAS from Brussels. It was held in Bharat Mandapam, New Delhi. Theme was Next Generation Administrative Reforms Reaching the Last Mile. Then you have International Buddhist Conference is all set to launch, Lord Buddha Tri-Nation, Tri-Services Expedition. This is going to be very important. The International Buddhist Conference will be launching Lord Buddha Tri-Nation, Tri-Services Expedition between, countries, inviting togetherness between the armed forces of three countries where Buddhism spreaded the max: India, Nepal and Sri Lanka. रिमेंबर, ट्राई नेशन है, कौन सी तीन कंट्रीज हैं? इंडिया, नेपाल एंड श्रीलंका. इंडिया, नेपाल एंड श्रीलंका. स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट विल बी लुम्बिनी, नेपाल. Lumbini was also the birthplace of Buddha. So starting point will be Lumbini, Nepal. Ending point will be Gale, Sri Lanka. Ending point will be Gale, Sri Lanka. It will be flagged off from India, Bodh Gaya. Then next, you have 14th Asian Fisheries and Aquaculture Forum being organized in New Delhi from 12th to 14th Feb. Theme is Greening the Blue Growth in Asia Pacific. The theme is interesting, remember. Greening the Blue Growth in Asia Pacific. It has been jointly organized by Asian Fisheries Society Kuala Lumpur, ICAR from India, Department of Fisheries of India, Asian Fisheries Society of Mangalore. And this forum is a triennial event of Asian Fisheries Society, which is headquartered in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Okay, remember. So this is important. एक triennial event है Asian Fisheries Society का for promotion of fisheries, development of fisheries. Asian Fisheries Society is headquartered at Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Remember, this can be important, very important question. Asian Fisheries Society is headquartered at Kuala Lumpur. Then we have committees. RBI recently is reviewing the economic capital framework. अभी इस पे बहुत ज्यादा डिटेल नहीं आई है, नॉट मच ऑफ डिटेल इज आउट, इट इज अंडर रिव्यू, राइट? सो व्हेनेवर फाइनल डिटेल्स विल बी आउट, ऑफ कोर्स we will be covering them comprehensively, but the recent decision is that RBI is currently reviewing its economic capital framework. What is economic capital framework? Economic capital framework के basis पे they decide the provision requirement, surplus distribution by the central bank, how much surplus. You have seen RBI transfers surplus to the government of India, right? So how much surplus needs to be transferred, how much RBI needs to keep in contingency buffer, these are the economic capital requirements. RBI has formulated a committee to review it, remember. Earlier it was reviewed by Bimal Jalan committee, abhi nahi, earlier, and then the recommendations were accepted, in which Bimal Jalan committee has recommended for maintaining 5.5% to 6.5% the range of this in terms of contingency risk buffer to meet with any contingency requirement. So Bimal Jalan committee ने एक framework बनाया था, इससे पहले जो review किया था, अभी वाला नहीं, the last review, remember Bimal Jalan committee, the last review which was held in 2018, the committee recommended that RBI must keep a contingency buffer within 5.5 to 6.5 range to meet with any contingency requirement, and then you can transfer the surplus to the government of India, right? Now RBI is saying that we are again reviewing it, तो जब भी कोई final decision आता है, we will be dealing with this. अभी आपको इतना ध्यान रखना है, जो बिमल जालन कमेटी का recommendation था, वो था 5.5 से 6.5% का risk buffer. Then next is RBI recently has formed a 9-member working group. RBI ने एक और working group बनाया है, 9 members working group for comprehensively reviewing the trading and settlement timing of financial markets. You know, trading and settlement timing जो है financial markets का, उसके लिए it is there. RBI has recently formed this group to review the trading and settlement timing of financial markets. Very importantly, who will be heading this? It will be headed by Radha Shyam Ratho, Executive Director of RBI. Remember, this is important. Who will be heading this? It will be headed by Radha Shyam Ratho. What they will be reviewing? They will be reviewing the current trading and settlement timing for financial markets regulated by RBI. जो भी financial markets RBI regulate करता है ना, right? Like trading and availability of forex, interest rate derivatives market, then non-resident domestic financial markets में जो non-resident Indians का participation बढ़ गया है. So to regulate the financial market segment which is regulated by RBI, this is not overlapping with the SEBI, remember. Forex, derivatives, interest derivatives which are regulated by RBI, उसके trade settlement के timing को review कर रहे हैं. 9-member committee है, headed by Radha, even I forgot the name, sorry. So Radha Shyam Ratho, right? Radha Shyam Ratho is heading this, Radha Shyam Ratho. They will be giving the recommendation. जब recommendation news में आएगी, then what decision they come up with the new, say, trade and settlement timing, we will be discussing it in detail. Okay. So that is it for 8th to 11th February CA. 8th to 11th February CA, we have covered all the important news. Top 5 MCQs from this session I will be taking up tomorrow. Okay. So today I'll not be taking up the top 5 of 8 to 11. Questions will definitely be discussed. Top 5 MCQs or the shorts from this session 8 to 11th Feb will be taken up tomorrow. So be there tomorrow in the class. I will be taking up these questions as well. That is it for 8 to 11th. I will be there in the next session with you. Thank you so much. Have a great day and see you again in the next class. Thank you.